Hello and welcome to Competology Academy. And we are going to discuss the new thing, the new target, the new thing ISRO is going to achieve. After saying hello to the moon, south pole of the moon, the ISRO is now targeting to say hello to the sun. So here the Aditya L1 mission have already been launched today, and this is again a cruise phase type system in which the ISRO is going to put the Aditya L1 spacecraft, the observator, at the L1, that is lag range 1 point or lag range 1 position, to study the various aspects of the moon, its surface and its corona. So we will discuss in detail, and before that I would like to request you all to subscribe the channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we come live or whenever we upload new videos. So let us start with the discussion. First of all, what is the Aditya L1 mission, the information about this. So first information, that is it has been launched on 2nd September, that is today itself, and the liftoff time was 11:50. This is 11:50 AM, right? 11:50 Indian Standard Time. And here the inaugural foray into the space based on solar studies. This is the first space mission by ISRO to study the solar system or the sun, right? Solar system में तो बहुत कुछ study कर चुके हैं, but to study the attributes of the sun, the solar studies space mission, and ISRO will join the ranks of NASA and European Space Agency. So ISRO will become the third space agency after NASA and European Space Agency to do the observation or to launch any space station or observatory at Lagrange 1 point. And here most of the space missions which are targeting the sun and which have to observe the sun for a longer period of time, being stationary in their orbit, then they are launched at the L1 point itself, the Lagrange 1 point itself, and there are various aspects for which it is launched at the L1 position, right? And overall, to reach the L1 position, that is total distance of 1.5 million kilometers, 15 lakh kilometer का distance travel करेगा ये spacecraft, and it will take 125 days, 125 दिन, 125 days to reach this L1 position, right? And here it will remain stationary and it will observe the solar chromosphere and the photosphere and the various other attributes of the sun. And what is the mission's objective? So basically it is targeting to study the sun's activities and their implications on the earth, like the solar flare, plasma, etc., various other things. So the solar mission, this solar mission, the Aditya L1 mission, is targeting to study the sun, its attributes, and what kind of impact or the effects these attributes have on the earth's surface and its population, etc., right? So first major study will be of the solar upper atmospheric region, that is the chromosphere and the corona. So if you see the diagram over here, then the corona is the outermost space, outermost region of the sun. It is having the temperature of 1 million degrees Celsius. So you can imagine what is the hotness, level of hotness of this layer of the outer surface of the sun. Under that there is upper chromosphere with a temperature of 10,000 degrees Celsius. Below it you will find 4,000 degrees Celsius, that is lower chromosphere, and again thereafter the innermost layer is the photosphere, that is having the temperature of 6,000 degrees Celsius. So the hottest part, the hottest layer of the sun is the outermost layer, that is the corona of the sun, जिसको हम लोग जब foggy situation रहता है, then we call it as a halo also, right? Now the study of the chromospheric and the coronal heating, its physics of the partially ionized plasma, initiation of the coronal mass ejection and solar flares. So all these things, the physics related to all these things will be studied by the Aditya L1 mission. After the corona, the solar flares, solar flares, this is one of the important thing because it impacts the magnetic field of the earth, also the electromagnetic systems, the tower system, network systems, electronic gadgets, all these things are affected by the solar flares to some extent. And here these flares, whatever you see over here, these are the solar flares. These are basically the ejection, the mass ejection of the coronal region, which ejects too much of energy out of the coronal region, and this is called as solar flares. And the Aditya L1 mission is targeting to study the physics of these solar flares, right? So that is one thing. And the coronal heating, why does the corona, the outer surface of the sun, is having the highest level of temperature, that is around 1 million degrees Celsius? So again, that is one point which the Aditya L1 mission is targeting to study. Thereafter, partially ionized plasma. Ionized plasma means what? The plasma that is over there, that is getting ejected with this solar flares, those are ionized, right? They are having the charged particles. So all these things are being targeted to study by the Aditya L1 mission, as well as it will observe the in situ particle and plasma environment, providing the data for the study of particle dynamics from the sun. So what kind of particles are there in the sun, its dynamics, how does the whole environment of that, the particulate matter, the particles that are forming the plasma environment of the sun, around the sun, all these things will be studied over here. And thereafter, the physics of the solar corona and its heating mechanism, already we have discussed that why does the corona is having so much of higher temperature, although it is outside the sun, it is the outermost layer of the sun, then also it is having the considerably high level of temperature, that is around 1 million डिग्री सेल्सियस, 10 लाख डिग्री सेल्सियस का इसका टेम्परेचर होगा. Thereafter, diagnostics of the coronal and coronal loops plasma, that is temperature, velocity and density. So whatever the solar flares, the plasma that is getting ejected, mass ejection of the solar flares. So we have to study the physics of that thing also. We will diagnose it. That diagnosis will be related to its temperature, the velocity of its propagation towards the surface of the earth, and its density. What is the density of that solar plasma, the particulate matter that is over there, the ionized material that is reaching towards the surface of the sun? So these things will be studied over here. Thereafter, development of the dynamics and origin of the coronal mass ejection. So the solar flares, the mass ejection that occurs from the sun, that moves towards the different regions of the space. So why does it happen? What is the mechanism is functioning over behind that? Why does it develop? What are the dynamics? How does it propagate? So all these things will be studied over here. Thereafter, whatever the solar mechanism, the coronal mass ejection, the solar flares, etc., are occurring, because of that, what kind of effect it is having on the magnetic field topology and magnetic field measurement in the solar corona. So what kind of magnetic properties is there in the solar corona? What is the magnetic properties of the solar flare, and how does it will impact the magnetic field and magnetic property of the earth itself? Like we know that on the northern pole of the earth there is magnetic south pole of the earth, and on the southern pole of the earth there is magnetic northern pole of the earth, right? The earth also acts as a large magnet. So what kind of impact these solar flares, this coronal mechanism will have or is having on this magnetic field mechanism of the earth itself. So all these are the point of study of this Aditya L1 mission. Now we come to the point that what is this Lagrange, why L1 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 is continuously being taught. So here the Lagrange is the position in the space where the gravitational forces of two bodies systems produce the enhanced regions of attraction and repulsion, and because of this attraction and repulsion, what happens between two celestial bodies like that of sun and that of earth, any of the spacecraft or smaller object, whatever it will be, that will remain stationary over there. So this will reduce the overall fuel that is consumed for keeping it stationary at that very point. And because of this, what will happen? The study of the sun will become easy, it will be less costlier, and the total cost that is involved in the launch of such space mission will reduce, because the payload will get reduced, as there will be less fuel that will be required, that should be placed in the spacecraft so that it will be stationary at its place, at its point, Lagrange point. So here through the diagram you can understand that in total there are 5 Lagrange points, right? 5 Lagrange points. And here it says this is the sun, this is the earth, and 3 Lagrange points are linear. 3 Lagrange points are in the same line, that is L3, L1 and L2. Thereafter, 2 are perpendicular to the axis or the linear position of the sun and the earth, that is L4 and L5. And the best position for observing the sun, that is the L1 point, Lagrange 1 point. And why it is so? Because you can see here the L3 is behind the sun, so it will be very difficult to communicate with the satellite, to receive the data, or to even send the spacecraft to that position. It will be very difficult, right? It will be a costly affair. As well as if you place the satellite at L2, then it will be behind the earth, although it is a nearer point, but the observation of the sun will get obstructed, because in the line of observation what will happen? The earth will be there, right? Now the L4 and the L5 position are conducive position, but again the distance from the earth will be a major factor which we will have to overcome, right? So again it is not conducive to place the spacecraft for observation of sun at L4 and L5. So the left out option is L1, which is nearest to the earth. It is constantly facing the sun also, so the observation will also be easy. There will be no obstruction for communication between the satellite and the space station that is at the earth surface observatory, right? So this is the whole thing that is related to Lagrange point, right? And this Lagrange point is named in the honor of Italian French mathematician Joseph Louis Lagrange. He was the person, he was the scientist who had calculated the whole gravitational force, the system, the diagrams, and thereafter he had mentioned that there are 5 points between the earth and the sun at which there will be the stationary position for the satellite or the spacecraft if we go on to place the spacecraft at that position, right? And here it is used by the spacecraft to reduce the fuel consumption, as we have already discussed, to remain stationary at that particular point, so that it will be less costlier and it will be easy to study the sun, right? So here we would like to inform you all that we have launched our books, we have published our books for UPSC Civil Services as well as JPSC State Public Service Commission, and these books are available in both the mediums, that is English medium and Hindi medium. This is the complete collection of complete syllabus. UPSC Civil Services exam. Here, same type of the complete collection of UPSC in both Hindi and English medium also. So if you get these books, if you want to order these books, then you can go on to order it from our app, from our website, or you can directly contact us from the contact details that is provided in the description box below, as well as it is available in the book shops also. If you want to get it one by one, then you can get it one by one also, or if you want to purchase it from Amazon, then you can get it from there also, right? And free resources, free study materials are available on our app, which are current affairs magazines, free tests for NCRT, for current affairs, and various other things. You can go on to download the app from Google Play Store, or you can get it directly from the description box link that is provided in the description box. And the same, all the study materials and the resources are available on the website also, so you can get the benefits of that also. And do subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to get notified whenever we upload such kind of new videos or whenever we are live. So here we finish off. Thank you very much and have a nice day.